Well, good morning. This is Hiro Matsuda. What we got here today? Well, we know for sure it's a boxwood, but I'm not sure what style this is. Well, when we get around to it, I think you'll see a little bit more. I was thinking maybe California Bunjin or the Literati style with more of a California spin. And what it is, well, because it's so hot and dry here, people don't like the traditional Japanese approach to the Literati. It's too stark. So it has the sort of the line of a Literati, but it has much more foliage. So we are in the last week of July, so it's going to be hot. These are in a well-protected area with 50% shade, so it was never going to get exposed to extreme sunlight. But it's a good technique to do during the summer. Just keep it light trim so that you can see the style clearly, but not overdone so that you could burn the trunks. So nothing fantastic, just, well, this is I call it my mini head shear. If this was a showpiece, then I would take a little bit more careful cuts, but we need to get done so that we could get to the rest of them. I think I still have probably 24 of these fairly large ones. This is not as large as some of the others, but relatively old. This light color, you could tell that it just came up. You know, these, well, so does everything else, but it grows fast around here. See how it just starting to get its shape back? That's one thing about well-established trees. Even if it's neglected a little bit, it'll come right back. You know, I was saying that I was defining this style. But if you think in terms of art, anything that doesn't fit nicely into a certain category, I think that's what you call good art, isn't it? Or original art. I'm really beginning to appreciate graffiti art. You know, there's some really good stuff out there. I guess some artists are not given space to express themselves, or some just don't like to be in confinement. And if I was drawing, I might end up being a graffiti artist. Well, thank goodness I'm in a business that don't get me in trouble. I think I'm done, at least this go around. So this is about the right kind of pruning for midsummer. Still don't exactly know what style this is, but if you think about it, anything that is clearly a certain style, that means not as creative. So anyway, that's my justification for what I do. Okay, now some of you are driven crazy by these, right? Why am I leaving these little green things on the trunk? Well, I could take them off anytime. But what if I decide in the future, I wanted a short tree. I could cut it off so that it's right here. Would I do it? I might. Especially, we do things for YouTube that we may not always do at home. I don't know, it's one of those things, I guess, to keep everybody entertained. You come up with some wacky ideas. If I was going to do that, I would probably make 3, maybe even 4 air layerings off of this thing. But for now, I'm content with what I have, except for the container. As I was picking this up to bring it here to shoot this video, I realized this thing is heavy. Well, it's in one of the larger mica pots. And I think if you look at this, it could go into a smaller pot. So with this style, I'm thinking maybe a round pot, taiko gata, or the drum shaped round pot might look good, and half the depth, and maybe only about 2/3 of the diameter. Okay, now this being a boxwood, I could do it today and probably be about 60% successful. But if I wait till, let's say, March, I'll be 99.9% successful. So I'll be waiting on that, mainly because I don't know if I have a container to put this in. So anyway, that was my thought on this one here, is that I think it will look a little bit better in a smaller pot. And because I consider this sort of a modified Literati, it should be in a slightly unusual container. Anyway, so this is Hiro saying goodbye. This was the Japanese boxwood, and I'm working in the last week of July with plenty of heat still on the way. But like I said, this is in 50% shade area, so it's well protected. So I have no worries about it burning. Okay, see you again real soon in another chapter.